Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining this session. I'm delighted to be here speaking with you all today. So my name is Aisling and I'm a marketing associate with Pointy from Google. I suppose a small bit of background on me is that I have been working with Pointy for about 3.5 years now, and we were acquired by Google in early 2020. Funnily enough, I actually first heard about Pointy from seeing a Pointy sticker in the window of my own local pharmacy here in Dublin. So I'm delighted to be here today to speak to you about, the importance of having an online presence, how the path to purchase has changed. I suppose the increase in shoppers' support of local businesses, which was great to see over the last couple of years. And then lastly, how you can use Pointy from Google to reach these shoppers who, they want to shop locally, but they might be starting their journey on a device or starting their research at home before making the trip to the store to complete the purchase. So let's jump right in and start by talking about, how the path to purchase has changed, especially over the last few years, and how growing your online presence can really help you to attract more local shoppers to your store. So although the pandemic accelerated digital adoption, and online sales are growing, it is expected that most purchases will still be made in stores by 2024. So as you can see here, it's 78% in store versus 22% online. The research also shows that retailers with a strong digital offering will gain additional sales over the next 5 years. And that's even, if customers choose to come in and buy in store. So this really emphasizes the importance of a seamless and integrated retail experience across online and offline. So throughout this session, we're going to talk about, how that could be achieved for your store. So in sticking with the in-store shopping experience, let's keep on and talk a little bit more about that. So I think, the opportunity to physically engage with customers in the real world is one of the many things that gives physical locations a competitive advantage. So, I know the past year hasn't been easy in any respect for stores who had to stay closed. However, we are by no means giving up on the in-store shopping experience. So as you can see, for impatient shoppers, stores still rule. So nearly 80% of shoppers will go to a store to buy when they have an item that they need or want immediately. And shoppers are increasingly demanding and impatient. We've seen that global searches for in stock have grown more than 700% year over year. So shoppers favor this in-store experience for immediate gratification. And here then is where we can see availability and local convenience really coming to the forefront. So with my job, I suppose I talk to a lot of our retailers who are using Pointy. And one of our retailers, Neil, he has a homeware store called Opulence of Southern Pines. But he really put it well and he said, for a store like ours, customers like to come in, have a nice experience and smell all the fragrances. It's why shopping in a local store is so engaging. So then let's move on from the in-store shopping experience and talk about, why it's so important to have an online presence. So even prior to the pandemic, the in-store shopping experience often began long before shoppers arrived at a store. So as you can see here, 90% of global shoppers in a recent survey said that they used online search prior to going into a store. And we're really seeing a shift towards this kind of behavior in that, people are researching stores and products and planning their visits, I suppose, much more than they have in the past. So there's no need to answer this out loud, but maybe just think about, a large purchase that you've made in the last few years. So think about where you started the journey. Did you start the process by visiting a store and talking to a member of staff? Or did you start the process by researching online? So I'll bet that many, if not most of you here on the call started online. And that's a common approach that people have these days. And it's for all types of purchases, not just the big ones. As you can see here then as well, 67% of global shoppers confirm inventory online before going to the store to buy it. And I can imagine that this trend, it may continue to increase over time. These past couple of years especially, they've shown that people would start their shopping journey, say on a device at home, before making the trip to complete the purchase. So what they're looking for is reassurance that they're going to find what they're looking for before they leave their homes. And then following on from that nicely, shopping locally has become, again, even more important over the past couple of years. So you can see here, searches containing available near me have more than doubled globally since 2019. And on top of that, Google searches for supporting local businesses, these grew by over 20,000% since 2019. I suppose, I've even noticed this shift in myself as a shopper. So, naturally through working with Pointy, I've always tried my best to support local where possible. However, it's definitely been heightened over this past year, as I think it has for most people. For example, I moved into a new area at the end of 2020. And, since then I've become firm friends, say with my local bookstore owner. I was, always contacting him on Facebook just to see, did you have this book in stock? Or, when do you think you'll be getting this back in? And the reason I suppose I had to be in constant contact when I think about it now is because he didn't have his inventory online. So I couldn't really check or see what was in the store beforehand. So as I say, I think we're firm friends, but he might have a different opinion on that. But going back to it, I suppose, we can't argue with any of the stats that I've just spoken about. And, it can be easy to get lost in the numbers. I think it's important for us to remember that there is a customer on the other side of these searches who is actively looking for a product. And it could be a product that you stock and they simply just don't know that you have in the store. So what we can learn, though, from these numbers is that customers, they want to shop locally, they want to support local businesses, and they're doing their research, online at home before making the trip to the store to complete the purchase. So I suppose, how do you reach these near me shoppers? And traditionally, it has been quite difficult for retailers to reach these offline shoppers, but that's then where Pointy can step in and give you a hand. So with Pointy, the problem that we're aiming to solve is that a lot of local retailers just simply don't have their inventory listed on Google. So, shoppers are turning to Google to find information about stores nearby. They're turning to Google for answers on where to buy a product locally. However, oftentimes, retailers like yourselves aren't appearing in these searches. And that again is as I said, where Pointy can help. So Pointy allows you to display your products on Google and increase your online presence. So this way, when shoppers are searching online for a specific product or store, using these near me searches, they have the potential to see your store and the products that you sell. So with Pointy, your products can show up in several different places across Google, and I'll just go through these briefly with you now. So firstly, your products will be uploaded onto your Pointy page. So the Pointy page is automatically created when you sign up to the service. And the Pointy page essentially is an online catalog that shows your products, and it requires no upkeep at all on your end. So you could, for example, link this to your current website or share specific products directly to social media pages if, you're running a special offer or something like that. So the second place your products can appear is directly on your business profile on Google. So I'm sure we've all searched for a store online to check, whether it's their opening hours or to get their phone number or something like that. So imagine then how much more beneficial it would be if we could browse the product that store stocks directly from your business profile. So as we all know now, customers are researching stores and products before making the trip. So this is a great solution to show them what's available in store. Imagine if someone's just looking up, what are the opening hours? Or, can I get their phone number to give them a call to see, do they have a product like I did at my bookstore? So imagine that with your own store, but when they're getting the phone number, they can actually just browse the products directly there from your business profile. And, once they click into a product, they're going to be able to see all the information they need and, of course, get directions to the store to complete the purchase. So on top of this, We will also give your store every opportunity to appear on many other Google surfaces, such as Maps and Search and Shopping. So it's just to keep that in mind as well. There's many different places that the products can show up. And I guess the final place where products can show up, it is a small bit different. So, you all might promote your products in many different ways, whether it's on the radio, in the newspaper, or on social media. We also then have an optional paid premium feature of the Pointy service called Product Ads. So this means that, you can just promote your products in Google search results. So one thing to note is that you don't have to run these ads in order for the service to work at all. There's simply an extra promotional option which could give your store even more visibility online. And you might find this, particularly useful around the holiday season, for example. But you can turn them on and off whenever you like. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. So if you do opt into these ads, you'll be able to see your results on your own personal Pointy dashboard. And here you'll be able to see, your most popular items, as well as searches that led to the store. And maybe these are analytics that you mightn't have had before, and they can prove valuable. So you might be thinking, practically speaking, how would this work for my store? So it couldn't be easier to get Pointy for anyone on this call. You can simply connect to Pointy through the Pointy app. And as your point of sale is integrated with Pointy, you can simply download the app for free, and everything will work away in the background for you. So all you have to do, as I say, is install Pointy on your point of sale, then just scan your products as normal. So what happens is, as you scan the products, we receive the barcode number, and we use this to source an image and description to match it and upload it onto your Pointy page, as well as onto your business profile on Google. So there's no manual upload needed on your behalf. You don't have to take photos of the products or send them to us or anything like that. It all just works off your UPC or manufacturer barcodes. And then, of course, this is going to help shoppers to find the products and the information they need to come into your local store to complete the purchase. Just to touch on, a question that often comes up is, does it work for every store? So Pointy works for stores across many different verticals, from hardware to homeware, toy store to pet store, and of course, pharmacy. The only criteria is that you use UPC or manufacturer barcodes, as this is how we source the product information. Secondly, that you have a physical brick and mortar store that people can visit to complete the purchase. The whole idea of Pointy is that people are going to be able to search, see that you stock a product, and they'll be able to see, oh, sure, that store is just down the road from me. I'm going to pop in there and complete the purchase. Rather than having to order it online and wait for it to be delivered, I can just go to my local store. So this is really going to drive footfall into your store, while giving people the opportunity to see the products online and then go to the store to complete the purchase. And the third one there is that you have a wired barcode scanner if you're using a traditional point of sale, or that your point of sale is integrated with Pointy, which we said previously. So I suppose, after all of this, what's clear is the way people shop has changed. We know that people are researching online first before going into stores, and they're planning their trips more carefully. So customers still want to buy in store. And as we saw from the stats, they really do want to support their local businesses, but you must increase your online presence to adapt to these changing shopper behaviors. And this is just where Pointy can really help you by getting your inventory up on Google. And this is going to really help the store to attract more shoppers to your physical location by showing them what you sell. So for you to get started with Pointy, then you can simply follow the link on the screen. And this really is a great time to get your inventory on Google and grow, as we say, your online presence ahead of the upcoming holiday season. So there's no better time to do it. And thanks again so much for having me, and I hope you found this session useful.